Well, as you can see there, it's been a pretty busy weekend. Actually too busy to make a video up at the forge because it does take time to set up the camera and move it around and do all that mess when you're working by yourself. My daughter, who's usually my camera operator, went to a weekend show with my wife this weekend, so they went to sell knives. But I did get a few done. I've got them in various stages of completion. Some need handles, some need sharpening, some need leather. All of them need leather. But, it's been a good weekend. Our last video did a little bit of fishing because, honestly, for about 5 years, I've worked 7 days a week, 50 weeks a year. When I wasn't working on the ambulance, I was working at the forge. And if a man does that all the time, it'll drive him nuts eventually. So, hey, the only thing I like better than forging is fishing. So we went fishing the other day. I'll start making a few more of those videos, hopefully when the weather breaks and when I can actually make myself take the time. Up until then, I've got some leather drying, and before I start sewing on that leather, thought I'd make a little video here on how I make high-low rigs. It's what we use a lot at the beach. We fish a lot in the Intracoastal Waterway, do a little bit of surf fishing, but not much. Mostly take the John boat down and run the Intracoastal Waterway. And the high-low rig, most people are familiar with that. It's a weight on the bottom and 2 hooks up the leader line back toward the main line. It's good for all kinds of bottom fish. I make them at home. Lots of the store-bought ones, they're cheap, they're easy to find. The store-bought ones are made and they have a leader line and swivels and beads and little skirts and little floats and all this other mess. I don't want that on my fishing line. I want nothing in the water but a weight to hold it down, the hook to hold the bait, and the line. I don't want anything extra that the fish might see. And there are people out there that'll say, fish don't know, they're too stupid. Well, maybe so. Maybe it's just me. But I've had better luck using, number one, fresh bait, and using a high-low rig that I tied because I don't have all that extra mess for the fish to look at. So I'll show you how to tie that real quick while this leather's drying, and then I'll get back to work. Okay, so all we need to do this is line. This is 60-pound mono, dirt cheap. It's a little stiff. I like the line to be a little stiff for a high-low rig. I like mono. I know fluorocarbon is supposed to be much more clear in the water, but I've always had good luck with mono. I like the abrasion resistance of it, and I like the price. So the first thing I do to make a high-low rig is just pull off a piece, and I'm going to go, I don't know, 2.5 feet just to mess with. Clip that off. So I got about 2.5 feet of mono. And the first thing I'm going to do is make a loop for the weight. May not have quite enough line here. We'll see. I'm going to change angles and see if I can get you to where you can see how I'm tying this. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is make our loop for the weight. Just going to find one end of the mono, make a loop, fairly longish. I'm going to take the tag end, and I'm going to go around the finger, all the way around, one time. Now I'm going to take this loop and go back through the loops I made with my finger once, twice, get it started, wet the knot, Pull it down tight. Now that's where my weight's going to go. Clip the tag end. Now I'm going to come up about 4 inches. That's where I want my next drop to be. I'm going to pull out about a 3-inch loop. And I'm going to do the same thing. Once around, then through the loop, once, twice, wet the loop, pull it down. So you can sort of see what I'm doing here. Now I've got a drop. It's going to be right above my weight. I'm going to come up a little more and put in another loop around the finger, back through once, back through twice, wet it, pull it down. Now I need a loop to join to the main line. So here at the very top, I'll make one more loop. Round once. This loop doesn't need to be quite as big because probably put a snap swivel or just the line through and tie it to the line. But either way, so there's our loop to tie to the line. Now we'll be able to hang our hook. Go back, go ahead and change the angle again so you can see the whole setup. Okay, so we've got our leader. Now to put it, now I carry them to the beach just like this. I just make them up, put them in a Ziploc bag. The little snack size bags, I just put one in a snack size bag, make up a dozen or so, carry them with us. Throw the line somewhere. You can always make more when you get there. But in order to make this work, the first thing I'm going to do is put the weight on. And if the current's not bad, I just use a 2 ounce. I don't like a whole lot of weight. And before I go, I'll put this thing out and let it get good and weathered and get some patina on it. I don't want that shiny weight. Just take the loop. I'll go through the eye of the weight and loop it back on itself. I'll do the hooks the same way. Bottom hook. These hook eyes are kind of small for the 60-pound mono, but I believe it'll work. Bottom hook. Top hook. There we go. Now that'll sit on the bottom. No beads, no swivels, no skirts, no fancy stuff. Nothing for the fish to see, nothing to spook them. These loops are long enough that they keep the hooks out away from the main line and help keep it from being tangled. That 60-pound mono, enough abrasion resistance so if it gets down in the oysters, it's not going to hurt it. And I'm not going to be fishing for anything in the intercoastal waterway that's going to break 60-pound mono. So that's great. That's enough for me. Just something to help you out. Like I said, the store-bought rigs are cheap. But for the cost, these are cheaper. This is 60-pound mono, just the cheap stuff. And I 90 yards. So I could do at least 90 of these. And I think it costs $3. As opposed to the store-bought bottom rigs being 99 cents and up. Cheaper. And for just a few minutes, and I think you get a better product. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, be sure and like and subscribe. Leave us a comment in the comment section. If you'd like to see more fishing content, more foraging content. I hope you enjoy both. If you got some suggestions, leave us some suggestions. We're trying, I really want to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark. You guys out there have done great supporting the channel. I appreciate y'all watching. But I really want to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark. I want to get some monetization so I can start buying some better equipment for the videos. So be sure and like and subscribe. Share the site around if you want to. Leave us a comment. Let us know if there's something we could do better, something we could do different. Leave us a suggestion for future content. Yeah, maybe I already said that. I don't know. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a blessed night.